All right, so basically, I get the blinders off, right? So I can see very, very clearly that this is an incredible injustice, and these people are dying, right? Right? Every second of the day we have these innocent lives being lost, right? So these people are dying, right? So is it my job to do more, right? And I do believe the answer is yes. Am I doing enough? The answer is no, right? Am I doing enough, right? The answer is no. I'm not doing enough, right? Me making these videos for you, well, you don't even exist because nobody watches my video. Who are you, right? Well, hopefully you are somebody who are watching my videos, but in the next generation, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long these videos are going to be up, but I know that right now in 2025, as I'm making it, like there's zero views. I post a video, there's no views, no views. So what am I doing? Am I doing enough to save these children's lives, these developing humans' lives? Right? You've got a little bit of a problem in this country where I am. You got a whole bunch of people dying in my hometown. You got a whole bunch of people dying in the United States of America. The laws I actually seen Dominican Republic are passing laws to protect the children. Countries like Brazil, right? They don't permit abortions, but there's always these pills, right? The birth control pills, and these are abortifacients all over the world. And so, for example, Europe, right? Europe, a complete free for all. Right? You can kill a baby and all this stuff. You can have surgical abortions and all this stuff, and the birth control pills. And for example, Africa. Well, Africa, there's the birth rate is exploding, right? You got a whole bunch of babies per woman, right? But then you get back to for example, Asia, right? China and all this stuff. China, there's literally, if you're lucky, there's one child per woman. Sometimes two, but usually only one. And sometimes zero. So the vast majority of Chinese women will only have one, and then you know how I know that, because I work with Chinese people all the time, all the time, all the time. And this is my job. I work with Chinese people, and you know what? The reasoning is always the same, always the same, always the same. Hey, you think you're gonna have another baby? Oh, maybe. And then if they have two, do you think you're gonna have another baby? No, never. Like, it's always the same, right? So am I doing it enough, right? So these couples are just not abstinent. These married couples are not abstinent. So what are these married couples doing? They're taking birth control pills. And what happens when there's the birth control pills? There's a pregnancy, there's a conception, right? And then the baby's lost at the very healthy stage. The baby boy or baby girl will die at the very natural stage of implantation. This is an early abortion, right? So these lives are being lost. So the question is, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough to raise awareness? To save these lives, right? To save these children's lives. Is that my life's mission, to change the world or whatever? Well, my life's mission is to take care of my kids that are in this house, and my other kids that are unfortunately not in my house here. But my duty on this earth is to take care of them. I failed. My other child was lost. Well, I lost my own child, right? Because of this abortion nonsense, right? It's a scar in my heart, man. That was terrible. Losing a child, right? But should I be doing more, right? Should I be doing more? Should I be more, on the aggressive side? Should I be more on the making videos? Public, trying to persuade people, in a public forum kind of way. I don't know, man. But I know that I am not doing enough to save people's lives, right? So let's say, for example, I was, bestowed with some, to be able to take the blinders off, or, blessed with some knowledge that allowed me to put two and two together, to say, hey, look, your own cousin is literally killing in excess of 1,000 children. In excess of 1,000 children. She's literally responsible for killing 1,000 children, and nobody around me can see that. Nobody around me can see that but me? Why am I the chosen one that can see that? And if I'm the chosen one that can see that, am I the one responsible? Why am I the one that can see that? Why can I have this nice, blissful ignorance? Blissful ignorance, right? Why do I wish for blissful ignorance? I mean, not necessarily, but now, do I have like this responsibility to save lives? I mean, I don't know. I mean, perhaps. I mean, What about you? Who are you? You're not even watching my video because I get 0 views on my each one. Every time I post a video, I get 0 views. What about you? Can you help me? Can you help these children that are dying? I mean, do something. And then, it does come to a story, right? And we're going to talk about it. And in no way am I connected to this guy, right? So this abortion doctor was shot and killed and all this stuff. I'm not going to be connected with that. No way. I'm not a killer, right? I'm not a killer, right? But the idea is that the abortion doctor in New York was killed, with the gun, a sniper or whatever, and they killed him, right? So then everybody was like, oh, well, it's too bad, but he was like a baby killer, right? But nobody really felt bad for him, right? I mean, it was a human life. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't be killing anybody, but that guy shouldn't have been. I mean, and that's the thing, should we kill killers? And well, I'm not going to kill anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. I just want life. I want life. I want life. I don't want to kill. I don't want this killing going on. That's what I'm trying to make this video for. So I'm not going to be. I'm just making that point to make sure that I'm not going to be associated with any kind of. I'm not going to have any kind of connections like that. No way. I'm not going to be connected with racism, white supremacy, anti-Semitism. I'm not going to be associated with that. The actual whoever I forget the name of the killer there. It was some Jewish abortion doctor that was shot in New York. All right, I'm not going to be associated with any of that stuff. No way. But I mean, should I be doing more like these videos, or should I be marketing my videos? Paying people to market my videos, or making better quality? I mean, I know the background sucks. Sorry about that. This is the only place where the lights, and I could go in my workshop, but there's even less of a background there. Maybe I should make some more videos that are. I'm rough around the edges, man. I know that. I'm rough around the edges. I'm sorry, I'm rough around the edges, right? I'm just me. I can't change who I am, right? Hair or whatever. Because man, it's so hot. I just shaved my head. I could have more hair, look better, get a suit, and yeah, I should wear a suit. There you go. Man, I don't know if that works. I think the points speak for themselves, but how can I pretty it up? How can I make it more professional, right? How can I do more? How can I do more to what? To save lives. That's the point in all this, right? To save lives, right? Where we can actually save these people's lives. These people are people like you and me, and they're dying, and we should save their lives. Right? Am I doing enough? And I strongly believe the answer is no. I'm too selfish, right? I'm focused on my own family. I'm focused on my own house, right? Do I have... man. And I'll be honest, okay? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be 100% myself, man. I'm a selfish guy, right? I look out for my family only. I only look out for me, for myself, for my family only. I don't care about some person over there. They're losers, right? And they're absolute losers, and they do not... See, you have to have a limit on how much you care, right? You have to have a limit on how much you care. And I think that I'm trying to portray myself to be some sort of hero, when in fact I'm just a selfish kind of guy. Yeah, let's be honest, okay? I don't really care for, I do care for these babies, of these, because they are innocent, and they are absolutely innocent, but their mom's being a loser and being deceived. No, I'm not saying she's purposely taking the birth control pill, and purposely wanting an abortion, but she's a loser. Okay, she's a loser, right? What is a winner? A winner is by chance or by luck or by education. You're winning in life, and that's me. I'm a winner, man. I have a house that's bought and paid for. I got a whole bunch of kids, and I'm married, I'm successfully married, and I have a job, and I'm a winner, right? So I was a loser before because a whole bunch of stuff happened to me, but I got out of that, right? So you're looking at a winner right now. I'm a winner. I'm 100% a winner, right? But then losers, right? Losers are what? People that get deceived by Dr. Michelle Dow, these women that get deceived by Dr. Michelle Dow, and the people that are not understanding the fact that they will, bear children. They will conceive a child, but they will not, they will not bear the child because the child has died at the very healthy and natural stage, which is implantation, right? Which is a horrible crime, but they are losers, right? So do I care about them? Not so much, because I'm selfish, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So am I doing enough? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. So this is a moment of me being 100%, live and real with myself. It's an unscripted video. I'm not making a script about this. It's really as I'm processing this information. And so, for example, let's say, for example, this young boy. I feel bad about this guy. Okay, so he's sitting on the. I've seen him 2 or 3 days now, and he's sitting in the same place begging for money every time. And he's like literally like 6, like 4. I don't think he's 4. I think he's 5 or 6. I mean, what should I do? I mean, should I give him money and continue on? He's just going to go buy some ice cream and candy and all this stuff and ruin his teeth. He's sitting on the corner, right? Anybody can literally snatch him up. It's a crying shame, right? This is a crying shame. And, do I care enough to, like, say, well, isn't this a DSWD's job, which is the social welfare's, job to help these children or something like that? Why is it me? Why am I the one? And what did I do? I drove away. I didn't give him any money. I drove away, right? And because why? Because some of these kids work for syndicates, and they just tug at people's heartstrings and get the money. But some of them are genuinely homeless children and all this stuff. But let's face the facts. They are losers. They are losers, right? The kids that died because they were conceived and they died in the wombs of their mothers because their mothers were so dumb to be able to take birth control pills instead of keeping their knickers on, right? They are losers, right? They are losers thanks to their mom, right? Thanks to Dr. Michelle Dow, fooling their mothers, right? Deceiving their mothers, right? But they are losers, 100%. Children on the street, right? A very, very sad case, yes, but they are losers. Like, we have to identify the winner and the loser, right? We're not talking about honorable and dishonorable here. We're not. We're just talking about winners and losers here. We can talk about honorable and dishonorable if you want, right? Is it honorable to provide and feed for your family first and make sure that your kids are taken care of before, spending the limited resources that you have on some endless problem that is never going to go away? Maybe, I don't know, but the point is, and now it comes to the point where I could do more. Let's say, for example, I were to do more with limited resources, with the limited resources I have, right, to be able to save as many children as I can from this birth control genocide. It's 100% a genocide, man. What is the definition of a genocide? It fits, right? This fits. This is exactly what it is. Yeah, and just because of the gestational age, you're not going to afford these people rights. I mean, because of the stage of human development. Well, it doesn't make sense, right? Nothing about that makes sense, right? So the UN's population control and all the stuff, they have to be part of it, right? But should I be doing more, right? Should I be doing more? Have I been granted this information? Right, this have I been granted the chance to remove the blinders, right? And am I doing enough with that, right? Should I, the blissful ignorance that these people have, right? It's a woman's choice and all this stuff, my body, my choice. They're ignorant. They're deceived, but they're very, very ignorant and very deceived. Do I want to be there? Well, not for a minute. But if I was, maybe should I, would I be happier? I don't really care about the answer to that question. I just care about the answer to the question is, a cat here. I just, am I doing it enough? I don't believe I am. I don't believe I'm doing enough, right? And, it's hard, man. It's hard to look at my own self in it's a type of mirror, right? It's a phone. I'm speaking to a phone right now. It looks like a mirror. I'm basically speaking to myself, right? And I'm saying, I am, you are, I'm just talking to myself, me, you, whoever it is, the same person, me, you, right? Are too selfish to actually do it, right? So we just take comfort in the fact that we're making these videos and we're trying to change the world, but it's never going to happen. But at least we're doing something. But are we doing anything by making these videos that nobody's going to listen to? Man, it's a kick in the pants, right? I'm not doing enough, right? Should I be more aggressive? Should I be doing more? Well, the answer is probably yes. Because this is a serious reality that these people are dying, right? These people are dying. Souls are being lost, right? We got to do something, maybe.